speaking of BLM in specific, right? The oppression, first of all, the fucking brutal murder and police violence that led to BLM, and then the brutal police. So we're peacefully protesting police brutality. And how do the police respond? With police brutality, right? 7 reporters got shot in the face with rubber bullets, permanently fucking blinded. Reporters, dude, in the fucking United States of America, right? We look at other countries and we say, we need to invade this country because they did that shit. And here it's happening on our streets and it's all good. Nobody's got a fucking problem with it, right?
And that's where when those guys that played the games back in the 20s and years ago when they were putting all this stuff together, the 20s short version of that, but it goes back a little bit further. That's why they just can't have the democracy the way it is that we see it, because they got to be dirty. You know, it's yin and yang. It's all yin and yang. It's not just sunshine and fucking rainbows, you know?
Love you,
I just hope we just do this shit with freedom in mind, you know what I mean? Wow. Because people are not going to get on board if you restrict their freedoms. Now, that's the problem I'm seeing. And it's a side that is authoritarian. That's another side that is authoritarian. And then this guy's in the middle like, I just want to be free, left alone, but we can figure this shit out. And a Puerto Rican dude. Most people get along. There's a bunch of bullshit they say. It's more divide and conquer now. I'm a zillennial. I'm a hybrid between Generation X and Millennial. Born in '84.
And you want to take this party to another rock?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Let's keep this genetic pool right the fuck here until we can get along with each other before we go trying to commit genocide on another fucking rock.
Because what's inevitable, once they get up there, the people that have, the original people, like their intention, maybe their heart's in the right place. They get up there, okay, and it's pleasant for a long time. And eventually, the beast kicks in, the limbic system. Savage.
Oh, dude. Yeah, man. What? Yeah. And who's going up there? It's not you and me, dude. What? It's Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and the Rockefellers, right? So all the rich fuckers are going to be up on Mars, and all of a sudden one guy's going to be like, I want it different.
Say it again.
I got to kill them. I want it different. I got to kill these fuckers.
There you go.
Right?
Come on now. That's how a lot of this stuff got to this place. Every time we turn around, there's war, anarchy, and all that, and people forget that, you know, and just being crazy. That carried on. It wasn't like all of a sudden said, "Oh my God, look at these people." Don't you ever grow up like that? I don't think you got like that. What's that?
And collective, I want to add one thing to that. The only way the left, the progressives, the working class have ever got anything, the only way we got the 8-hour workday, the 40-hour workday week, the 5-day work week, was through blood, through the labor wars.
There it is. Remember that? Yep. And it's
the labor
always go down like that. You know, the Boston Tea Party and all this. Okay, the original person, they may have that heart and they may have that in mind, but as it branches out and starts to thin out away from the original person, question mark. Because people, man, it depends on what's going in their gene pool or what have you. The people, they're survival mode, man. They get into this place where you just never know what a person's like until they put under pressure. You know, they don't have it good, and then they have to just survive. And when they get into that mode, if there's nothing there to draw from, typically people will do what we've been seeing them do.
Hey, welcome to our new listener, Shamroka. Chime in on the conversation, please. Yeah, no, I agree, and you know, it's not going to be pretty. Like, who's going to go to Mars? We know who's going to go to Mars, right? And what are they going to leave us? They're going to leave us the planet that they killed? Nah, dog.
Yep.
And I invoke Malcolm X in this by any means necessary. You know, I'm a peaceful dude. But if you're fucking with my air and you're fucking with my water, you might as well be fucking with my family and my money, right?
Yeah, because that's no joke.
Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah.
Why why don't we look? Why don't we look at it as the same thing? Why don't we look at the CEO of Exxon? Why don't we look at him as like an enemy of the state? Like that dude should be in hiding, right?
I said, dare to dream, and our dreams release. But we're supposed to monitor and be a part of those dreams, active part of it. And people forget
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
You know, you got a dream right now, be ready to release. And
I am manifesting right now, brother.
And talk and say, hey, you know, what you doing? How you living it? Take an interest in your neighbor for a moment, because it might be something that could affect us. And don't be lost. Let's not be lost. That's what happens. So we think deeper, richer thinker. We're thinking like this because every one of us has a dream. And damn it, we're gonna sit there and keep that dream in our head when at the same time, as a kid, you're saying, "Dare to dream." You know, you're like, wait a minute. So dare to dream. You get to the point you're dreaming, and now you release the dream, and here it comes. You know, the dare to dream and getting that people that were here before us, our parents, our educators, we can say our leaders, pastors, what have you. We get to the point when we get to release it. There's also that unsaid thought, hopefully, that these people are a part of what's going on here.
Right. That it's being witnessed by your community and by you.
Exactly. Right? It cannot just be so dare to dream and be out there and you release your dream and now all of a sudden here comes everybody flying at you like you're crazy, you know, because
I'm not an island, right?
Exactly, man. Let me tell you. That is a tough sell for a lot of people, but it's common sense. It's common sense, and people know this when it comes to emergency. When it comes to
and we're coming back to that, and we keep circling back to that, like right, circle the fucking wagons. LGBT, all the minority communities, the entire labor working force, every blue collar motherfucker in the world. Every immigrant that's ever been, you know, how many? I'm forgetting people, but every disenfranchised group that is, let us join together. We're unstoppable. How much money does one need? You'd think after $100 million, you would start a trust that would just run your business in perpetuity, and you could go kick your feet up on a goddamn island somewhere. But these motherfuckers want to change how humanity evolves.
You know, on nature's beautiful thing when a tree grows, has abundance, its cup runs over and it spills some back to the land. Well, it seems like when people amass that controlled well, they try to bottle it all up. There's nothing that they try to spill out. And if they do, it goes into charities or they start something that almost seems reluctant to be doing. And if they play a little bit like nature, which is what we were talking about to start our whole conversation, wouldn't some of that spill back down to the people just naturally? And would it be like, okay, you know what? I'm doing really well. How are you doing well? Because a lot of people are supporting your cause. Let's make it happen in real time. The problem with pastors and churches got to the point where pastors a long time had little raggedy tin roofs and huts and everything else, and then they figured their game out and they started making more out of the moment. Well, when it got to the point where they got their cup full, it should have been running back down into the pews, into the people. But they got selective too, like the rich did. They got selective. They're not for profit. So the problem with that was instead of doing it like nature now, when they try to control it even more, we ran into what we call the thinning out of